Women don't chase men they're indifferent to. They chase men who make them feel something they can't ignore. Most guys get this backwards. They think attraction is about being handsome or rich or funny. It's not. Attraction is about creating an emotional experience that makes her brain light up and think about you when you're not around. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Initial attraction doesn't matter nearly as much as you think it does. Some of the most magnetic relationships started with zero spark. The spark came later, built by specific behaviors that made her feel drawn in. So how do you create that pull? It starts with understanding what actually triggers chase behavior in women. And it's not what pickup artists tell you. Women chase men who do three things simultaneously. First, they create genuine value in her life. Not fake value, not trying too hard. Real, undeniable value that makes her life better or more interesting just by knowing them. Second, they maintain their own life completely separate from her. They don't orbit. They don't wait around. They have things they care about more than getting her attention. Third, they're unpredictable in a specific way, not random or unreliable. Unpredictable in their standards and boundaries. Most guys fail at all three. They try to provide value by being available, by texting back immediately, by clearing their schedule. That's not value. That's neediness. It signals you have nothing else going on. Women don't chase men with nothing else going on. The second mistake is making her your priority before she's earned it. You rearrange your life. You answer every message. You remember every detail she mentions. You're so focused on her that she becomes your entire world. But here's what happens in her mind. If you have nothing else, why should she? If you're not busy, you're not valuable. If you're always available, there's no reason to pursue you. The third mistake is being too predictable. Guys think consistency means doing the same thing every time, texting at the same time, following the same routine, being the same version of yourself. But predictability kills attraction. When she knows exactly what you'll do, exactly how you'll respond, exactly what you'll say, there's no reason to think about you. There's no mystery. There's nothing to figure out. Here's what actually works. You build a life that's genuinely interesting. Not interesting for her, interesting for you. You pursue goals, you develop skills. You spend time with people you care about. You do things that matter to you. And you let her see that life, not as a performance, but as the real thing you're living. Then you engage with her in a way that's warm but boundaried. You're genuinely interested in her. You listen, you remember things. But you don't reorganize your life around her. You don't make her your emotional center. You include her in your world, but your world doesn't revolve around her. And you stay unpredictable in your standards. You're not playing games. You're not being random. But you have real boundaries. You don't accept disrespect. You don't tolerate flakiness. You don't compromise on what matters to you. That inconsistency in what you'll accept creates constant curiosity. She's always slightly off balance, trying to figure out what moves the needle with you. This is the foundation for making women chase you, even if they didn't like you at first. The rest of this video breaks down exactly how to execute each of these three principles, starting with the first one. So let's start with scarcity. Scarcity works because it taps into something primal. When something is rare, our brain automatically assigns it value. This isn't manipulation. It's just human psychology. The mistake most guys make is they're always available. They respond to texts in seconds. They clear their schedule. They show up whenever she hints she might want company. What you're actually communicating is that your time has no value, because you have nothing else going on. Scarcity means your time is genuinely allocated elsewhere. And here's the thing, it has to be real. You can't fake it. Women sense desperation like a shark senses blood in water. So the first step is actually building a life that's full. You have hobbies that matter to you. You have friends you see regularly. You have goals you're working toward. You have things you do on specific days and times, and those things don't move for anyone. When you operate this way, your availability becomes a commodity. If she wants your time, she has to compete for it. Not against other women necessarily, but against your actual priorities. And suddenly you're not chasing. You're the one being pursued because she's wondering if she can fit into your world. The second layer of scarcity is emotional. Most guys give away their full emotional investment immediately. They text her about their day. They ask about her feelings. They try to build intimacy fast. What you should do instead is reveal yourself slowly and strategically. Share things that matter, but don't overshare. Let her wonder about parts of you. Create mystery. When you're slightly closed off emotionally, she becomes invested in unlocking you. She starts thinking about you between conversations because you haven't given her the complete picture. She's trying to solve the puzzle. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being warm but boundaried. You engage with what she shares, but you don't dump your entire inner world on her immediately. You keep some cards close. The third layer is attention. Your attention is the most valuable thing you have in the modern world. Everyone's competing for it. So when you give it selectively, it becomes currency. This means you don't text her constantly. You don't like every photo she posts. You don't respond to every story. You're present and engaged when you're actually with her or in direct conversation, but you're not orbiting her life. When she sends you a message, sometimes you respond in an hour. Sometimes it takes longer. You're not playing games or being mean. You're just not making her the center of your world. And that inconsistency, that slight unpredictability, keeps her engaged. She's trying to figure out what gets your attention. She's adjusting her behavior to maintain your interest. The combination of these three things creates the dynamic where she's chasing you. She's investing energy into understanding you, into being the kind of person who fits into your world, into earning your time and attention. Now that you understand the foundation, let's get into the mechanics of actually implementing this. Because knowing the principle and executing it are two different things. The next gen breaks down exactly what to do in real interactions to apply scarcity in a way that feels natural and builds genuine attraction. So here's what most guys get wrong about scarcity. They think it means being unavailable or playing hard to get. That's the amateur version. Real scarcity isn't about ignoring someone or pretending you're busy. It's about having a genuinely full life that doesn't revolve around them. The difference matters because women can smell desperation. When you're manufactured unavailable, she feels the manipulation. When you're naturally unavailable because you have real priorities, real friends, real goals, she feels the value. She feels like she's competing for your time, not the other way around. Here's the mechanic. First, you establish baseline availability. You respond to her, you engage, you show interest, but you don't rearrange your schedule. If you're at the gym, you finish your workout. If you're with friends, you stay with friends. You don't drop everything the moment she texts. This isn't coldness, you still respond later. But there's a natural delay because your life matters. Second, you create visible alternatives. Not to make her jealous, but to show her that other things have your attention. You mention plans with friends casually. You talk about projects you're working on. You post about activities you enjoy. She sees that your world doesn't begin and end with her. Suddenly, getting your attention becomes an achievement. Third, you're selective about what you give her access to. Not your time necessarily, but your emotional presence. You share some things, you hold back others. You're open, but not transparent. You're interested, but not invested in her every response. This creates curiosity. She wants to know more about the parts of you that aren't immediately available to her. Fourth, you enforce your boundaries without announcing them. You don't say, "I'm busy. I can't talk right now." You just don't respond immediately. You don't say, "I don't want to move fast. I like taking things slow." You just naturally pace the relationship at your speed. Boundaries that are stated feel like rejection. Boundaries that are lived feel like standards. The key is consistency. You can't be available one day and distant the next. That's not scarcity, that's instability. Real scarcity is predictable. She knows you're interested, but she also knows you have a life. She can count on you responding, but she can't count on you being at her disposal. And here's the counterintuitive part. This actually makes you more attractive because it makes you more trustworthy. A man who has options and chooses you is more valuable than a man who has no options and needs you. She doesn't want to be your only choice. She wants to be your best choice, and that only works if she knows you have other choices. The moment she realizes you're not dependent on her approval, something shifts in her mind. She stops trying to convince you she's worth your time and starts trying to prove she's worth your attention. The dynamic flips. And that's when real attraction builds. So here's what happens next. She's watching you. She's noticing you're not orbiting her. You're living your life. You're talking to other people. You're pursuing your own goals. And suddenly she's the one monitoring your moves. She's checking if you posted something. She's wondering who you were with. She's trying to figure out what you're doing when you're not around her. This is the critical moment, because now you have leverage. Not manipulative leverage, real leverage. The kind that comes from actually having options and actually not needing her specific validation. She can feel the difference. Women are incredibly perceptive about this. They can smell desperation from a mile away, but they can also smell genuine indifference. And indifference is magnetic. But here's where most guys mess this up. They get to this point and they think they've won. So they relax. They go back to being available. They respond to her texts immediately. They change their plans when she texts. They start acting like they need her again, and the whole thing collapses. The game doesn't end when she starts chasing. That's when the real test begins. You have to maintain that same standard. You have to keep living your life the same way you were before she started showing interest. Because the moment you slip back into neediness, she feels it, and she loses respect. Attraction dies without respect. Think about it this way. If a woman is only attracted to you because you don't need her, what happens the second you start needing her? The attraction evaporates. So your job isn't to trick her into chasing you and then relax. Your job is to become someone who genuinely doesn't need her approval. That's not a strategy, that's a character trait. That's who you actually are. This is why the best version of this principle is when you're actually living it, not performing it. When you're genuinely focused on your own life. When you're genuinely building something. When you're genuinely interested in multiple people and multiple opportunities. When you're not sitting around thinking about her or strategizing about her. You're just doing your thing. And from that place, something different happens. You're not trying to make her chase you. You're not thinking about her at all. You're just being a person with direction and purpose and options. And that naturally makes you attractive. She feels the difference because it's real. You're not performing scarcity, you're living it. The women who are worth your time will recognize this. They'll see someone who has their life together. Someone who isn't desperate. Someone who would be fine without them. And paradoxically, that's exactly what makes them want to be with you. Because nobody wants to be with someone who needs them. Everyone wants to be with someone who chooses them. So the real work isn't in the tactics. It's in becoming the kind of person who doesn't need validation from women. Who has enough going on that losing one woman wouldn't derail your entire life. Who can walk away from a situation that doesn't serve him. That's the foundation. Everything else flows from there. That foundation is what makes the tactics actually work. Because here's what happens when you're genuinely busy, genuinely focused on your own growth, genuinely unbothered by rejection. Women feel it. They sense that you're not desperate, you're not performing, you're not trying to convince them of anything. That absence of neediness is magnetic. It's the opposite of what most men are doing, which is why it stands out so sharply. The women who didn't like you at first start noticing you differently. Not because you manipulated them, not because you played some game, but because you became someone worth chasing. You became someone with options, with direction, with self-respect. And suddenly you're not the guy trying to impress her anymore. You're the guy she's trying to impress. This is why the process takes time. Real transformation isn't instant. You can't fake this stuff for long. You can't act unbothered when you're secretly checking her Instagram at midnight. You can't pretend to be busy when you're actually sitting around waiting for her text. Women know. They always know. So the real work is internal. It's about actually building a life that's compelling, actually pursuing goals that matter to you, actually surrounding yourself with people who elevate you. When you do that, everything shifts. Your energy changes, your conversations change, the way you carry yourself changes. And women respond to that. Not all of them. You won't appeal to everyone, and that's good. That means you're being authentic instead of trying to be universally likable, which is impossible anyway. So here's what I want you to take away from this entire conversation. Stop thinking about how to make women chase you. Start thinking about becoming the kind of man worth chasing. Get clear on what you actually want in life, not just romantically but in every area. Get disciplined about pursuing it. Build real friendships, develop real skills. Read travel, create fail at things, learn from it. Become someone you respect. Do that consistently, and the attraction takes care of itself. The women who are worth your time will notice, and the ones who don't, you'll be too busy living to care. That's the actual secret. That's what separates the men who constantly struggle with dating from the men who seem to have endless options. It's not about them. It's about you. Start today. Pick one area of your life that needs work. Your fitness, your career, your skills, your circle, something concrete, and commit to it for the next 90 days, not for women, for you. Watch what happens to your confidence. Watch what happens to how people respond to you. That's where real power comes from.